Howdy folks, I'm Tenacious Tawny Edge Skipper, tactfully taming tiny termites.
I'm Amber.
And here are more tiny termites for us to tame, except for they're electronic termites, and they're going to eat our computers. Just like these Reddit stories. So let's get started. Oh, and folks, there is a poll on the community page. For more information on it, please see the end of the video, or just head on over to the community page. Let's get started. Alright folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk? My boyfriend got mad when I said that I would only have a threesome if it was with another guy. Me and my boyfriend got into an argument recently. He mentioned threesomes kind of randomly, and while it seemed like he was joking at first, he must have been serious. But I gave him a real answer, and I don't think that he liked it. I told him that if we were to ever have a threesome, the only way that I would be okay with it is if the third person was another guy. As soon as I said that, his mood changed. He got kind of defensive and asked, "What do you mean? Wouldn't it be more comfortable if it was with another girl?" Or along those lines. And I told him no, because I'm not attracted to women. A threesome with another girl wouldn't do anything for me, which it wouldn't. And honestly, it would just feel weird. He started getting agitated and giving them this whole argument about how two guys and one girl isn't the same, and how it's not a threesome at that point, it's a train. He said most guys wouldn't be comfortable with being intimate in the same space with another man, especially not while sharing a woman. It's like a masculinity, pride, or territory thing, according to him. He also mentioned that for most couples, threesomes are usually two girls and one guy because it's more normalized and less threatening to the relationship, whatever that means. The whole thing kind of left me feeling weird. Like, why is it okay if it's only another girl? That just sounds like he wants to sleep with another woman with permission. And I couldn't help but think, do you already have someone in mind? Why is this even on your mind in the first place? It just felt really one-sided and unfair. I'm not saying that I ever want to have a threesome, but it's just a double standard that rubbed me the wrong way. Alright folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, I think you exposed his hypocrisy very well. I mean, why should you put up with something you're uncomfortable with for his pleasure when he's not willing to return the favor? Because every argument he made, like, there's, like, similar things like, oh, well, like, it's not comfortable. He's basically, it's not comfortable for me.
Yeah.
Well, then, why would you want to do something that's uncomfortable for OP, though? Like, why would she be, it was such a weird reasoning. Like, oh, wouldn't you be more comfortable with another woman? But OP's not attracted to women, so, like, why would you want to be naked around a woman you're not into?
Well, you know, the thing is that I think that OP is right. He probably already has someone in mind. He already probably has this whole scenario played out in his mind. And when OP said that they weren't interested in the same vision that he had, that they were upset and agitated because he was expecting it to work out the way he wanted it to, right? And I think that you really kind of said it really well. He's not willing to be uncomfortable, and he expects OP to shoulder that burden. And again, this kind of shows that the whole idea is for his gratification and not OP's gratification, because he doesn't care about OP's gratification here.
Yeah, well, and I mean, I think this is a great time to reevaluate the relationship, you know, because his reaction, instead of being like, because he could have been like, oh, well, I was thinking it would be with another girl, but hey, if you're not into it, that's fine. And they could have had a healthy conversation and ended it there.
Yeah.
But the way he doubled down and acted like this was the gravest offense that OP could do, and tried to, like, basically, essentially try and bully her into it, steamroll her, be like, but this is how most people do things, like...
Well, most people don't.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is most people do not do this. Like,
there's a whole argument of, like, how the most couples would do this. It's like, I don't think that's actually something that you can really establish.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that most couples do this at all. And I think he was talking about, like, oh, it would be less damaging to the relationship. For who?
Right.
Again, like, he seems to be wrapped up in this whole fantasy of what's best for him will be less damaging to the relationship, when it is going to be, you know, as damaging to the relationship either way.
Right. Like, if one of the parties involved is not into it and is very uncomfortable, it's going to be bad for everyone involved.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. But folks, let's see what the Wheel of Judgment has to say. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Tap like with the fierceness of a bad wedding speech. Comment fiercely and subscribe loyally. The wheel is all about the subscription, I guess. Why wedding speech? I don't know.
Be married to the channel.
Yes, I guess so. I guess so. All right, Wheel, give us a real judgment this time. Wheel of Judgment, turn, turn, turn. Tell us the judgment that OP's earned. Angelic Saint.
I mean, I think OP is just like standing up for themselves, and that's great, but I don't know that that's saint territory.
Apparently, standing up to your boyfriend is now sainthood. And In a Trance 22 says, not the jerk. Either you both agree that you want a threesome, and who with, or you both agree to no threesomes. He needs to just get over it and realize that his dreams of you and another woman aren't happening. And Saffron Soul, too, says, yeah, she flipped the script and he didn't like it. That's not on her. If he can't handle a taste of his own hypothetical, then he shouldn't be bringing it up at all. And You Cannot Be says, OP expressed a hypothetical preference and he lost it. Sounds like he wanted validation and not a real conversation. And Beth21286 says, OP is straight and so is the boyfriend. Neither is curious about the partner's own gender. Threesomes are incompatible with their preferences. How dare OP expect him to respect her stance while she is respecting his? Sarcasm. I mean, I do agree, like, it does feel like he wanted validation, right? This is, again, I think that he actually is looking for cheating with, without cheating or something like that.
Right. He wants his, essentially, uncheating cheating, where he, oh, but it's okay because you gave me permission type of deal. He wants to get with someone else, and he's trying to get OP to go along with it, and OP is not having it, and that's perfectly fine for OP.
Yeah. And Ninja Star Kid says, not the jerk, you're allowed to have preferences, and so is he. But he's not allowed to get aggressive and mean about your preferences not matching his. Also, personally, his comments about territory are really creepy, especially when there's this double standard. And Omen Gladiatrix says, yeah, that part really bothered me too. Like, why is this about territory and pride instead of respect and mutual consent? It's not just about preferences, it's about how he handled hearing hers. Alright folks, and our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Correcting My Husband in Front of Everyone? Throwaway account, and I'm at work and I'm typing quickly. I'll come back to answer on my break. I'm a 27-year-old female, and I've been with my husband, a 41-year-old male, for 6.5 years, married for 3. I got pregnant early in our relationship, so we have an almost 5-year-old. When I was pregnant, I was a student and had to do all the housework and the baby work because my husband was traveling for work a lot. He also was the sole provider for us at the time, so it was 100% on me. My mother-in-law occasionally was helping me. For example, she would come over and watch the baby so that I could study and take a shower. Anyways, now I have a great job and we're happy. On Saturday, we were at my in-laws' house for dinner. My brother-in-law and his wife announced that they are expecting a baby. My husband went on and on about how this is a partnership and how he has to be extra supportive of her and help her. Then he used our relationship as an example. He mentioned about how he worked full-time and cared for the baby and the house so that I could finish my studies, but that's what a good husband does. My mother-in-law looked me in the eyes and said that I was very lucky to have such a supportive husband. Here's where I might be the jerk. I interrupted my husband and I asked him when that was because these things didn't happen with me. You were traveling for work at the time, and when you were at home, you didn't lift a finger. You never changed a dirty diaper or woke up for midnight feeding. Yes, your mom helped me a few times because I needed to study for my finals, but that was about it. Everyone went quiet. It was awkward. My mother-in-law changed the subject. On our drive back, my husband said that I acted like an immature, self-centered child. He said that he supported me by paying for my education. And if it wasn't because of him, then I couldn't even have graduated. My mother-in-law also messaged me and called me ungrateful and said that it was very disrespectful. She said that I aired dirty laundry just to make myself look like a victim. My husband has barely talked to me since. Do I owe him an apology? Was I a self-centered jerk? All right, folks, what do you think of this one?
No, it sounds like the husband is a self-centered jerk. He's trying to take credit for something he didn't do and rewrite history. OP had a very hard job raising the kid basically solo while also finishing her education. And just because she's not footing the bill doesn't mean she wasn't providing a valuable service. And if that worked for their relationship, that's fine, but he shouldn't go try and pretend like he was the stellar father he wasn't.
Yeah, I want to kind of draw the attention to the whole sentence where he says that he said that he supported me by paying for my education, and if it wasn't for him, then I couldn't have even graduated, right? That's not what he said at the table.
Right.
Right. If he had said that, that would have been a different scenario, right? Then OP wouldn't have been able to refute that. And he could have said, well, things were really tough at the time. I was traveling a lot and she was a really, great mom. If I wish I had been able to help out more or something like that, which maybe have been a stretch of the truth at that, because it sounds like he didn't do anything when he was at home, right?
Right.
But the fact is that OP never debated whether or not he supported her financially.
Right. And he doesn't get to make himself look like this. He rewrite the past and make himself look like I'm a superhero father doing it all, when he didn't. Like, he does not get to erase OP's hard work. He does not get to paint himself as this, grand figure. And OP, didn't embarrass him. He embarrassed himself by lying.
Well, I mean, I know we've said this before, right? But if the truth makes you look bad, then you kind of deserve to look bad, right?
Well, and that's another thing, is like, he could have not made this big speech on his own.
Yeah.
It was all just an ego boost to try and paint himself as like, because I think he knows he didn't do right.
Yeah.
And so now he wants to make himself look like this stellar figure that his brother has to emulate. And it's like, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the whole goal was to also put OP in a position where she felt like she couldn't say anything. Because then if he's rewriting history and he already has witnesses to the history being rewritten, then it's going to be a lot harder for OP to refute that in the future, right? And if OP had just pulled him aside quietly after the fact, then do you think he would ever have been like, oh, by the way, I made a mistake. I actually didn't help my wife out.
Right. He knows full well he didn't. He never would have corrected the record. This is one of those times where you need to stand up and be like, no, you don't get to discredit all the hard work I put into it. You footed the bill. That's the beginning and end of your contribution.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Longtime Geek says, yes, 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 I'm a woman and you acted like a complete jerk. When you have an issue with someone you purportedly love, you discuss it in private, not in public. You need to determine for yourself why you felt the need to air that resentment right then and there. When you have figured that out, you can have the discussion with your husband as part of the apology.
He's the only one who needs to give an apology.
And OP replies, okay, I see your point. My in-laws and I had a rocky relationship in the beginning. His mom and his sisters believed that I baby-trapped him because he was established in his career and I was just a college student. Things got better eventually once our baby was born. Now I'm afraid that I ruined my relationship with his family. I'll apologize to him and my mother-in-law for ruining the party. I mean, I'm going to, jump on this whole thing with you, where I don't think that OP was actually in the wrong. I know, so there's a difficult situation here, because in general, you want to praise publicly and punish privately, right? When you are in a position of authority over someone, right? Now, if you are an equal partner in a relationship, there are probably certain cases where, discussing things in private is better than airing dirty laundry, right? But in this particular case, he was willing to lie and make it seem like OP, was the luckiest woman in the world or something like that. And he had to expect that somebody's going to call you, this is just not, like, would this person have said the same thing about any other type of relationship, where if someone had exaggerated or made false claims about something, that you would have embarrassed them by correcting them on the spot, right? Right.
Well, and I also wonder too if this is even a relationship of equals, or if OP, it sounds like was wholly financially dependent on him for a while. I don't know if she still is, but and it sounds like his family looks down on her. It sounds like he probably looks down on her to a degree. So I just don't even know if this is a relationship of equals, and if he's using his power to try and add to his power and diminish OP, that's not cool.
Yeah, and again, I think that you bring up a really good point. When somebody is in a unequal power dynamic, it's perfectly fine to call out the hypocrisy in that person who has more authority or power than you. And that's just the reality of it, right? So, best case scenario, they're equals. Worst case scenario, OP, is not an equal in the eyes of his family or him, and her calling him out was still the right thing to do in that particular case. So I think that there is a point to what the commenter was saying, but I think that that is generally when you are in a position of authority over someone, you don't really, you praise in public and punish in private type of thing.
Or when you have two good faith actors.
Yeah.
Because people can make mistakes, but this wasn't a mistake.
No.
This was an out and out lie.
Yeah. And First Pay 702 says 41 and 27, and his mommy is still butting in to fight his battles. Tells you all you need to know, not the jerk. And Zud Seist says, Mom, the MVP in the eternal game of tag team, not the jerk. And Frolic Nindator says, 35-year-old creeping on a 20-year-old, thinking that she will keep her mouth shut and let him control the narrative and everything else. I actually hadn't considered the age difference here. And I not all age gap relationships are bad, but it's clear, maybe not clear, but there does appear to be some exercise of power dynamics.
Yeah, there's a lot of the hallmarks of an unbalanced relationship in this case.
All right, folks, and our next letter is titled, Boyfriend, a 25-year-old male, smashed a plant I, a 26-year-old female, was admiring. I'm a 26-year-old female and my boyfriend, a 25-year-old male, have been together for 2 years. We were at the park today and I was admiring a plant. I thought that was cool and I told him to come and look at it. He came over, glanced at it, and immediately stomped on it. I asked him why he would do that and he said, I was just messing with you, which seems to be his response often. I expressed that it was upsetting to me and he apologized begrudgingly. This seems abnormal to me and very weird behavior to destroy something that I was enjoying. Has anyone experienced a man like this? Did it ever get better, or am I being dramatic? All right, folks, what do you think? Is OP being a drama llama?
No, this is deeply concerning behavior. Like, if you show someone something you care about and their first impulse is to destroy it, that does not bode well. I mean, first of all, this is probably a public park and he's destroying public property. So that's a thing right there on top of it. But the fact that he takes something that you're like, oh, look, this is beautiful, this is cool. And he's just like, bam, now it's gone.
Yeah, that's actually really disturbing to me that he would take something beautiful, right? Something that OP was admiring and crush it, right? That gives me a lot of pause about the type of person that he is, right? If he's willing to kill something just for laughs, I mean, I know that a lot of people don't regard like plant life as something that is, worth protecting, but why kill something if you don't have to, right?
Right.
Like, there's degrees here, and certainly like mowing your lawn, I'm not saying that somebody is like a sociopath for mowing their lawn or anything like that, but generally that also doesn't kill the grass, right? And it keeps it where it is. And certainly like weeding and stuff like that, there's a point to that. You're not doing it because you get any real pleasure out of killing the weeds. You're doing it because you want your garden to grow big, and you don't want all the nutrients being taken by plants that aren't supposed to be there. But this whole, I'm going to stomp on something that my girlfriend admires and appreciates because I can, just does not sit well with me. It feels very off-putting.
Right. Well, it sounds like there's a pattern of behavior here too, where he constantly is like, oh, I'm just messing with you. And it makes me wonder, what other contexts does this apply to? Like, even as an isolated incident, it would give me pause.
Yeah.
But especially if this is part of a bigger cycle of him like destroying things that OP is interested in, or doing things to try and like upset her just for funsies. Yeah.
I would hope OP takes a moment to kind of reflect on this relationship, see if there are any other red flags, and if there are, maybe it's worth sitting down and going into couples therapy if it's not too severe. But if it is too bad, then maybe it's time to cut your losses. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And I Port Row says, end it with him. He will make your life miserable. Marry the one that will bring you, unasked, the same plant in a bowl once he knows you like it. And Opie replies, these comments are making me emotional, but this one is the one that brought me to tears. Thank you. I mean, this person actually has a really good point here, right? I mean, if your partner, like a good partner, would have actually brought her a plant like that and been like, oh, I saw you admiring this plant. I know you liked it. Let's have a little plant that you can enjoy.
Or even just admired it with her or something, you know. Because, like, I'm always pointing out flowers and butterflies and stuff, and we can't take them all home. But, like, you don't go around, stop, stop, stop.
Yeah, I just ripped them out by the roots and like, I brought you flower. And OP replies to like the auto moderator comment. Thank you, everyone. I've been in this relationship for a while and feel like I have been blind for a lot of it. Recently, I've been noticing much more and questioning much more. I've never seen or been modeled a healthy relationship of any kind, so I think that my perception of what is normal can be skewed. Thank you again. Well, and you know, that's the nice thing about a forum like this, is that people can give people insight about when a relationship isn't a healthy relationship.
Yeah, because it's really hard if you don't actually have personal experience with healthy relationships, knowing what is and isn't okay.
All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber, she has a joke.
What did the book lover name their daughter?
Oh, I can tell you exactly what the book lover named their daughter, because I know a few book lovers, and I know what they've named their daughters. They named their daughters Vellum.
Paige.
Paige? I mean, we're on the same page, if you will.
I mean, I've never heard of someone named Vellum, but you know.
Velma is like similar to that, right?
Oh, Brian's new name to make it into the top names of the year. Watch it happen now. And today is Drop Everything and Read Day.
So go find a book, drop it, and then read it from a much higher height. That's how we do reading here.
I mean, you don't have to do it that way. And it's also National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day. So we're in National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Month, but there's also a National Grilled Cheese Sandwich Day in this month. So like maybe we need 2 grilled cheese sandwiches.
It's grilled cheese sandwich Inception. Oh my goodness. Go find a grilled cheese sandwich, cook it up, and then what you do from there is you put it inside of another sandwich and you cook that, and then you'll have a double grilled cheese sandwich, a sandwich inside of a sandwich, and you eat it. And that will represent your meal for the month.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have enough appetite, but like a double layer grilled cheese sandwich does sound pretty good.
And I have the special guest tea, some matcha. All right, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Surprising Saturday. I bet that was a surprise. And folks, what else is a surprise is that I had not changed our live stream time or date. So yes, we aren't going to have to travel backwards in time anymore to see the live stream. So thanks to the folks who reminded me about that. It is going to be on the 25th. And also, we're kind of rebranding the channel a little bit, because at the beginning, it was really just me doing it, and then I occasionally had a guest or two on, and since then I have not had any guests. So the reason why I was calling it Brian Toner and Friends is because of the guests that we don't have anymore. But now we mostly just do Amber and me. She can be my permanent guest. So we're going to rebrand the channel a little bit here. Oh, and there's a poll on the community page if you want to go ahead and fill that out and give your ideas. We're going to be doing some runoff votes and stuff like that, so don't worry, it's not changing immediately. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it on inconsiderate partners.
Don't be an inconsiderate partner. Respect your partner and their wishes, and don't smash plants they like, and don't try to take credit for things you didn't do, and don't get mad when you make a suggestion and your partner has a different idea.
Yes. And if you do smash a plant, make sure it's poison ivy. And that you were admiring it. I don't know. Bad idea. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.